Hey guys, welcome to this episode of the AniMango Tokucast. As always, I'm your host, Frozen Stratos. Here with me today we have
Cinder Blaze
and Makotoa.
That's right. We are here today to bring you something different. We're going to review Avengers Infinity War because we all saw it and we haven't really given each other our thoughts on it yet. So might as well do it. I'm wearing my favorite Avengers T-shirt. So let's get this rolling. Where are you going? Where are you even going?
Yeah.
I don't know. We were doing that too.
What is happening? This just happened.
Yeah.
All right. So
I am a Rocket Raccoon, and today with me we have.
Jesus Christ!
Start.
No, we're not restarting. No one watches these anyway. So, guys, what'd you think about the movie?
First off, I think we should point this out real quick. I thought that Michael was wearing an Ewok costume that entire time.
Oh my gosh, Alex!
Sorry about
This
that.
is not Ewok. This is not.
Look at the ears.
This is not Ewok. It's a raccoon. Oh my.
Dude, I only watched one trilogy in Star Wars, and you are the teddy bear
Oh my
of
god.
them all. Ugh.
Oh no.
Why did you take
Calm
the
down.
shirt off?
Then I'll be wearing two t-shirts and it's hot as shit. Alright, so back to the movie, which kind of just felt like a direct sequel from Black Panther, everything that kind of happened at the end just kind of bled into that basically. And
I don't
then
know.
we did have
I feel like it's more everything you watched leading up to it. You could see it as a direct sequel to Thor number 3 of them. You could see it as a direct sequel to Guardians number 2 of them. You could see it as a direct sequel to...
I forgot about the very first scene in the movie where it was just oh, we found Thanos' ship, and then he just wiped us all because he believes in equality.
Oh my goodness.
And honestly, I feel like that is my biggest problem with this entire movie. Just like Thanos is kind of like...
Thanos.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I feel like his whole solution for fixing the universe's problems is a bit too stupid.
Yes! Thank you! Oh my goodness!
And that is it. Everything else about his character I enjoy. It's just wait, he's gonna half the universe? What the frick is he even on?
Yeah, why not just double the size of the universe? You have the power of infinity in your hand. You can change reality. You can change space. You can change time. Just make more room. Allocate resources. Why the hell do you have to kill? That's fine. Whatever. But I like the movie. Don't get me wrong. I like the movie.
I liked every moment up until parts of the finale. I can't say I hated the finale because there's still parts of it that I enjoyed, but there were just parts where it's just okay, what are they doing? My main gripe with a lot of these movies with just millions of fodder are the fodder fights. For the beginning part of, or not the beginning, but the latter part of the fodder fights where they were actually kind of beating and kind of putting pressure on Captain America and Black Panther and stuff. I kind of enjoyed that part, just seeing them actually kind of losing and the big guys actually making progress towards what they want to do.
I also like seeing the tactics that went into the fight beforehand, because we just see these things rushing in as pure rage and pure anger, and just body slamming this wall. And they were trying to get in. And if they can do that in the front, they rationalize, okay, they're gonna travel to the back and get in, so they're gonna need to just let them in and face them head on.
Yeah, the fodder actually had purpose.
Yeah.
Where I think in the original Avengers movie and just generic fodder in other movies. They're just there to kind of like do bad things.
Yeah,
Like,
fill
oh
out the
shoot,
space.
he's destroying buildings. And it's like, no, these guys are trying to break a defense and get to one person specifically,
Hmm.
and they were doing it, and that
Yeah,
was like phenomenal for fodder
yeah.
standards.
Like the best way to approach fodder, I feel like is uh, I should really turn my phone off. Is when that alien lady said like, uh, we have blood to spare. Like you
Yeah,
just flood them
yeah,
with so much that they can't handle it. For some reason, like the idea of having too much clutter, like in your movie, that's off-putting. But when you say that's the deliberate thing, like I feel like I'm sounding like a hypocrite because even if you call out a trope, doesn't mean it's any less stupid. But they called this trope out and it made it better. I don't know what the line is and where I draw it for this, but
Yeah,
this was done pretty well. I don't quite know in my head how to parse it out. But I did appreciate that.
yeah. I think it's kind of like the acknowledgement of them being fodder and using them as such, and not as
Okay,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
competent
Yeah.
foot soldiers. You
they were
know?
really foddery, especially the way they were just like killing themselves to lurch through the
Yeah.
breach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I
we
will
don't
say
really.
like, oh,
Go ahead.
go
Go ahead.
oh.
At no point.
Cool. I like initially when I came out of this movie, I was a little disappointed because I had heard at like before this that it's gonna be Avengers Infinity War Part 1 and 2. Part 1's gonna be like 2 months before Part 2, and then like a bunch of Part 2s got announced for everything. People got tired of the Part 2s, and then Marvel was like, no, 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 hold on, okay. We're not doing Part 2 anymore. It's just gonna be Infinity War. Calm down. I was disappointed to see at the end we left a bunch of plot threads out there that were obviously gonna get resolved in the next one. And I was like, oh, so this is a part one. But the more I thought about it, the thing that really tipped me off for this being an actual full narrative is that at the end of the movie, at the end of most or all Marvel, no, most Marvel movies, it says blank character will return. The main character of
Yeah,
that
the
movie
hero.
will
Insert
return.
hero here.
Yeah. And then they put Thanos there. Thanos will return. So that clued me in. Oh, no one else was supposed to be the main character. This was Thanos' movie. This is Thanos' arc. He went through the whole thing, and we got a pretty good conclusion for his character. He succeeded,
He
and
succeeded.
yeah, and
Yeah.
under that mentality, I was able to rationalize. Okay, so technically this is a part one, but technically we did get a full narrative, and I feel a little less ripped off.
Yeah.
I
Like,
never had that. I never had that feeling of being
Oh.
ripped off.
No,
Also,
yeah, I just
Yeah.
I personally thought, one and done, and we're good.
I
But
mean, I think
you know.
it was just the confusion that, yeah, it was just because it wasn't part two in name, didn't mean that it wasn't going to be a part two
Yeah,
kind of thing. But because I was still aware that this was going to be, a two-parter type situation where things would be unresolved to some degree, and
yeah.
the second movie would have to resolve certain things. So I was expecting that going in.
Oh
I wasn't
crap! Wait, we didn't say this is a spoiler review, but if you're this far, you figured it out.
you just put it in the
Oh
the
yeah, never
title.
mind.
Yeah.
I guess you already know. Keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mike.
So continuing, what was I saying? Shoot. Yeah, it's I was already aware and going into that, but I still wasn't expecting it to be as I don't know. I didn't expect him to win, actually win by the end of it, because
I
I
feel
mean,
like he was forced to win. Like, there's no way he can leave this movie without winning.
There's no way you can resolve this movie pleasantly without him. Because like
there was
if he loses, then it's just all over.
Well, actually, there is a way. It's called Star-Lord just shutting up for like 10 seconds, And then we kind of just like end the movie super early.
No, and I mean, I think earlier, what was it? Something about how
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange did that like time thing where he was like bobbing his head around, and discerning how many actual possibilities in the future would actually wind up with them in victory, right? Winning. And it was like 1 out of 14 million. He knew that one was going to be the particular way, giving him the time stone. So in this particular one instance, you think that there weren't instances where like Star-Lord actually held back and didn't like sort of unravel and become emotionally compromised and the whole plan. There were probably times when he did hold back, but it still would have ended with their defeat. That's my justification for the Star-Lord thing, where it's like this whole movie could have been, gone if Star-Lord hadn't done that one moment of weakness, which I do feel bad for the character because it was something that I'm sure a lot of people will probably hold against him for. But when you're really thinking about it through, like, I guess how there was only one way that things could have worked out. And even if Star-Lord would have, held himself back, it wouldn't have mattered in the end.
See, here's the thing though. Characters are made up of the decisions they make, made up of what they make. No, so like his decision.
I feel like in that specific moment though, like Thanos was like way too much on the brink of defeat. Like if they got the Infinity Gauntlet off of him, I'm pretty sure that they could beat him and contain him.
No,
like 100%. But like one thing that like I didn't like hate Star-Lord for that. Like that was the one thing I kind of want him to do, and it kind of goes back to like this being Thanos' movie, and I feel like Star-Lord and Gamora, they're a lot more prevalent characters in this movie for me personally, and I wanted like that whole like interaction between Thanos and Star-Lord because this it's a lot more close, right? It's a lot more personal. So when he kind of finds out that like he's the one who actually like killed his own daughter, like Star-Lord has his own kind of like family problems, and like probably like got to him even more, and he also had like a lot of those like touching moments with Gamora right before this. Like they had two really touching scenes together. And, yeah, the emotions kind of just like exploded at that point.
Well, my problem did sort of stem, not really stem, but like the scene where he had that outburst that was problematic for me. But I think the biggest thing that I had a problem with and was played up for jokes and it was funny was his sort of dick measuring contest with Thor, and like I don't know, just the way he was sort of acting with Gamora when they were trying to have a serious moment, because I feel like his character has progressed and he's matured, at least from the second one. He's gotten a little further, and I feel like, for a crossover, right? Okay, everyone, it's a crossover, so put on your nice clothes and behave yourselves. Just don't do anything stupid, and Star-Lord did the...
I feel like he had a relapse back into Guardians of the Galaxy 1.
Yes, very much so. And much to the detriment of his character, much to the detriment of the relationship between him and Gamora, because I can see why he likes Gamora, but I don't see at this point why Gamora is still into him.
Yeah, I mean, okay, just a little disclaimer, I didn't watch Guardians of the Galaxy 2, but like I just kind of like assumed that stuff happened there. But like just given like the context of the movie and like what I did see from like Guardians 1, I was like, I know like Star-Lord made a lot of mistakes and he was kind of just like kind of acting unnatural. Like even if I do think about Guardians 1, that's a little bit too much from him. So like at the end of the movie when like everyone was kind of dying, I was really sad to see Star-Lord actually die, because I'm like, he's the one who needs the most redemption out of this movie.
Yeah,
why are they killing him?
Well, I mean, like,
I had a good
Chadwick
explanation for that.
Boseman. Boseman? Is it? No. Okay, Black Panther is the one that has the most money to make, and they killed him. They're not dead. I mean,
They're not. Yeah.
yeah, it's plain and simple. I mean,
Well,
unless
not like
Marvel
permadead.
doesn't feel like making money, they could kill off Black Panther
No,
permanently.
like,
But
oh, like I don't like I know none of them are dead permanently. I just want like Star-Lord to have a more prominent role in the next movie because I feel like since he's effed up the most, maybe him. I mean, sadly, this is like an Avengers movie, so Captain America and Iron Man will have to be like the two like most important people.
I mean,
think
we still have the captain of the ship left, Rocket.
I wanted to make a point that
that was not what I wanted to hear from you.
From the Guardians.
I'm the captain. No, yeah. But no, the thing that I want to say that kind of gives me an idea of why I think they decided to have Star-Lord be one of the people who got chosen to disappear. Because obviously that's supposed to be like a random thing since that was Thanos' plan all along, It's going to be random. Even the poor, the rich, doesn't matter what your,
Right,
what your creed.
When it's a story, it's not random. So what do you think is
When it's a story and it's actually direct, the reason why I thought that he disappeared along with the others is because in that situation when just him and Stark and maybe like Gamora were left, everyone else disappeared. Thanos just vanished into a portal. What do you think Stark was going to do especially after he lost Spider-Man, Peter Parker in his arms? That was emotional. I'm not gonna lie, even though I
feel like he was overreacting a bit, but
okay,
that's only because I have disdain for like Spider-Man's life.
Continuing on, Tony Stark in that situation easily would have torn into Star-Lord after that because it's obviously that fault is going to go towards Star-Lord. He screwed up the plan, and so do we really want to see that on screen? Where Star-Lord gets the crap ripped out of him, even just like verbally, maybe not even physically, but either way, this is a move where it would have to kind of happen. Like I can't see them trying to be like, oh yeah, we're gonna make it be okay, and it just wouldn't be in character for Tony Stark to just not rip into him for that.
But
fading.
Civil War was an amazing movie. And
we ain't got time for them to like
ripping into someone is some really juicy content.
He needs to be redeemed, okay? It is a character that needs to be redeemed. If he takes all that flack from Iron Man, it is just going to make things worse for his character.
But here's the thing: you've basically relegated your star player in one of your biggest franchises to the vehicle that sets the antagonists motion in gear, and we have to shelve him because we made him do the one bad thing.
The thing is, I don't think a lot of people are upset that they're not super broken up about it, I haven't heard
that obviously that should have crossed their mind. Like, maybe this can be perceived as that. Because I certainly perceived it as that. It was kind of annoying. But, I feel like in all different iterations of the thing going down, the battle going down that, what's his face? Doctor Strange saw, the only element that he would have been able to I guess, change is himself and what he does and what he tells people. Right? So...
No.
He also has magic, so he can literally change what people do.
I mean,
no, he only has the time stone.
If everybody else on his team wants them to win, then I would imagine they would go along with whatever he said. So I feel like he does have a little bit more influence than just his own actions.
No, but he knows where to put his pieces, and he knows that Star-Lord's going to make that decision.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So he's made that decision already. That's already part of his character.
Yeah.
To make that decision. It's not that, he wouldn't have acted out. It's that he did, and Doctor Strange made a point to either withhold information or let those emotions play out.
What was that decision like?
Actually, like probably him kind of like flipping out at Thanos in that one moment probably will have repercussions later on, because like he does feel pretty remorseful about his decision to sacrifice Gamora, and that might have been like something that kind of like
maybe
kind of make the issue a little bit bigger
Yeah.
for him.
Maybe that was what he needed, was a few slaps in the face by Star-Lord to like you just killed your own daughter.
Yeah, and like we don't know how Thanos really feels about like this new universe he's kind of created.
I don't know. He was smiling at the end.
Yeah, but it could be a sad smile, you know.
Yeah.
Is he back to his planet? Was that?
I
what
have
that
no
was?
idea. Like he can be in Asgard for all we know, because
Did you just
Asgard
say-
is no longer. A
You
place.
just called it.
There's a reason I call it Asgard instead of Asgard. Man, the things they did with that place. It's not a place.
What else is there to talk? There's plenty more to talk about.
Thor. How about his whole arc this movie?
Oh, I loved. Bring the storm, Stormbringer. I'm so glad Stormbringer's here, and I feel like maybe that's maybe.
I don't know what a Stormbringer is.
Wasn't
like,
that the axe? Wait, hold on. Let me check.
well, yeah, that's the name of the axe that he forges in the movie. But like, I don't know what
Yes.
it was prior to that, so it doesn't have any like
Oh, okay.
You know,
Well, for me, because like
importance to me.
one of the coolest characters that I was introduced to in Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, that cartoon, was Beta Ray Bill. He was another guy that was able to pick up Thor's hammer. So like they met up, they teamed up, and they were all buddy buddy, and he's like, "Hey, man, you're cool. I'd like to use my hammer, but I got this dude over here. He can make you a pretty dope axe or something." And it's Stormbringer. Oh, Breaker. Man, I'm dumb.
Stormbreaker.
Is
Yeah.
that even his? Maybe I'm just assuming.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but like
Great.
in the actual movie, I felt like that whole like subplot about him kind of like reawakening the star was a little bit just bleh. You know, it's like, oh well, we have to do it, and it didn't really make too much sense in what was happening, and it was a really short scene, so it's not really too consequential. But I wish it was just like it's something I wish was like trimmed out or at least like done better. I mean, like, haha, Peter Dinklage is like a giant, even though he's actually short in real life. Ha ha ha. So was that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, just for Thor in general, I wish he had like a little bit more to like. Or actually, I really like that one scene he had with Rocket in the pod where he was kind of like,
Oh, the bunny.
yeah.
Yeah.
When it was like just feeling real shit, because like he's basically lost everything. Like he didn't lose like every person from his, from Asgard, but he lost like, half, and
Yeah.
he
Oh, yeah,
lost his
Loki's
brother, his
dead.
father, and his long lost sister. Just like randomly. I mean, I don't think Loki's dead, but like that's because I just don't trust that dude whatsoever. Like he could just be one of the Infinity Stones. Like I'm just waiting for Gamora and Loki to like pop out at the end. It's like, what are you gonna do with your brother?
Oh.
Just like some random shit like that just happening. What else? Oh yeah, how did you guys feel about Mark Ruffalo this movie? Because I hated him.
There, I feel like he's just there because he's one of the originals.
Yeah, when he does his exposition lines, it really feels like he's Ruffaloing.
You're gonna
like
have
every
to tell
time
me who this
Ruffaloing
character.
his feathers.
Who is this
Bruce
character?
Banner.
Oh,
Bruce
Bruce
Banner.
Banner.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh.
like how he has those little rants that are like somewhat pissy.
Yeah.
Like when he does that, it just really gets on my nerve because that's all he does when he's talking, and like his whole thing with the Hulk. I feel like
Hulk's
Ragnarok
just
was like,
scared.
Well, yeah, like we know that,
Yeah.
but I feel like that whole interaction in Ragnarok, it wasn't the best, but since the movie was so good around it that it wasn't like a glaring problem. In here, when it's like the only focus of a scene, we're just like, come on. It was good in that one scene where like Tony was in front of Doctor Strange, and then like he's having these like Hulk issues. He just can't get it up. I mean, out.
I don't know. I think one of my favorite lines in the movie was when they were trying to catch him up to speed on what's happened since he was gone, and they're like, "Yeah, we've got Ant-Man and Spider-Man."
Yeah, that did happen.
Yeah, great. That was also a line in the movie.
Yeah, what happened? What happened to Ant-Man? I feel like he would be really overpowered
Oh,
in
he
this
was
situation.
just real small.
Watch that be Ant-Man 2. He's actually in the film. We just don't know it.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna happen.
Oh
But,
my goodness.
like, you could probably just slip inside the Infinity Gauntlet and just grow and just subvert from the inside out. Like, I feel like that would be the easiest solution to this entire thing. It'd be freaking hilarious. Unless he died or something.
Or he
But-
can hop into Thanos' mouth. No. And then hit the grow button.
No.
Then we have like the Fantastic Four is like, you know what? I can put a barrier inside of you and expand it till you
Oh,
explode.
Oh,
Gosh.
jeez.
Ugh,
Yeah, that was a thing. They said that.
you said it.
Was that in the Rise of the Silver Surfer too?
I think so.
Yeah, it was. You are spot on. I remember how bad that was. Yeah.
Oh man, that would have solved a lot of issues. I feel like Thanos here. I really like this power scaling. Let's talk about like the fight scenes in particular. I mean, like we've been discussing this for a while, but
Yeah.
how do you feel about Thanos' fight scenes in particular?
Thanos. I think
Thanos.
like I know it's probably way out of scale. I understand that. But my favorite Thanos fight moment is when he was trying to crush Captain America, but he was like, no, I got this entire thing by myself. Oh no, other hand, bam.
Yeah.
Like the fact that he was holding back that one. Like I know scaling was probably way off, but thank you so much for that. Thank you.
Yeah, I felt real bad for Cap this movie. He just didn't do anything.
He didn't.
Also, Bucky.
Oh no,
God.
Bucky. He's
Yeah,
just
he
like
had the whole disappearing act.
he's like Steve, and then he just oh
And then he gets an arm and he doesn't do anything with it. He's just shooting the same gun
No,
over and over.
he picked up a rabbit with it and swung it around.
Yeah, that was a good scene.
That was.
I love that scene.
Yeah, but like, what about the
Hey,
ones
how much
where...
for the gun? It's not for sale. How much for the arm? Ah, man, I want that arm.
Just gonna jack him from it anyways. Shit. What was it? No, like, what about like that fight on the not moon, but I guess it's Thanos'
Planet.
original planet.
When they
Where-
were like tag teaming him with the portals, that was sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Magic kick.
Yeah.
Peter was pretty spot on this movie. I really liked how Tony did give him the ultimate Spider-Man suit that he teased, just so we would get it in this movie.
The
And
Iron Spider.
Iron Spider.
Iron Spider.
I like people were speculating that like okay the toys aren't saying anything, but they say there's an extra item in the SH figure art of the Iron Spider figure, or like the toys aren't saying anything, but I really hope the spider legs come out. And I was like, yeah, me too. I'd be totally hyped with it. Oh my god, the spider legs came out of his back. This is awesome. I'm done here. Ah, this was good. I'm happy.
Yeah. I love that suit entirely, and I love the scaling that went around with it. Like,
Yeah.
everything just felt so useful on that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just like really overpowered, just like it was a natural power level for him to have. Doctor Strange, however, I felt was so nerfed in the beginning of the movie. It just did not make sense whatsoever. But I mean, it's something that like they had to do, and I was kind of okay with it for the large part of it.
I don't know. I feel like the best sort of tone setter, and this is just my bias because this is my favorite Marvel movie. But before the movie, I had class. Like no one pays attention in this class. Everyone's on their phones or something. It's about a 3 hour long class. I looked around. All right, I'm just gonna watch Civil War, and then and I watched most of Civil War. I had like 22 minutes left, and then we had to leave. But oh no, it was made by the Russo brothers. It's a pretty nice tone setter. It leads you in for like the bigger characters, and then the ones like Doctor Strange and Wong, you kind of got to establish them sort of in this movie if you didn't already know. Like a lot of what you need is in Civil War, because Thor and Loki are gone, right? And then they're just in that adventure, of the Guardians already, presumably, and then yeah. I
have no idea what your point was in all that.
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to say that I watched Civil War beforehand during class.
Right.
That's my main thing. But also, like, even if he didn't really get to do much, he was sort of brought into the fold, like, big time if you weren't too caught up. I feel like Civil War was, like, one of the only major ones that you needed to really hit. And if you didn't, there was enough for Doctor Strange?
No, I mean, like, if people watch Doctor Strange, they know how strong he is, and just seeing what he was doing in, like, the opening act, it felt like he wasn't doing anything. Like, he was just having, like, this whole magical...
No, he was getting a tuna sandwich for Wong. A tuna melt?
I really
No, like, in the fight scenes, he would just get, like, the magic things on his, like, hand, and he's go like multiple times in the movie, just kind of like not do anything with it, and like start going in a melee without the little magic little sword thing.
At least his magic was displayed a lot more faithfully in this, in this version than it was in Thor Ragnarok. Because I mean, this is just a small aesthetic thing, but none of the circles happened around him. Magic just sort of floated around. Might be a product of the place, but he didn't like do his whole thingamadoos and then have those circles happen to make the magic.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just me.
Oh man, did anything else? Oh yeah, one arc that took way too long and was stupidly somewhat relevant. Vision and Scarlet Witch.
Oh, I enjoyed it.
I didn't like it.
Okay.
I felt like, especially towards the end, where she was taking forever to break
Michael,
I hear
you typing secretly, and I have a feeling that's to us on Skype. What do you want?
Oh, for you guys to shut up so I can say something.
Go ahead, dude. We're just talking about nothing. Go.
Thank you. Okay, I wanted to at least make a comment about like the he wasn't in most of the movie, but the villain that had the psychic powers too.
The freaking priest
really
dude?
Liked his whole demeanor. Yeah, Squidward.
Yeah.
I liked everything about that character. He was like, humans, you will now be bestowed with the great honor to be sacrificed for the almighty Thanos. And like just the whole demeanor about him, I loved all of it. And he'd like twitch a finger like this to like smack Spider-Man from behind him. He didn't even have to look.
Or cut an entire car in half.
Yeah.
Yeah, that just happened.
Yeah.
I was a fan of that scene.
Yeah, like I like that scene with just like the whole magic power scaling.
Okay, what about Scarlet Witch though? Because she's technically using magic, and where did hers?
Because the only explanation we got in Age of Ultron was, she's weird.
Josh Whedon or something like that. Joss Whedon. One of them said that she's using magic sort of like Strange's, but just more unrefined.
Okay.
That was the explanation, apparently.
But was that in the movies? Because like just
Yeah.
going off of what happened in universe, I have no idea like what the source of her powers is.
Honestly,
And
I think
apparently one person can just crush an Infinity Stone, and I feel like that's kind of retarded.
well, she no, here's the thing. She got her powers from that Infinity Stone, right?
Did
Or was
she?
it a different one? She
I
got her
thought-
powers from one of them. Yeah, remember the Tesseract was being used to experiment and give people superhuman abilities, and those two, her and the Quicksilver, were both experiments used for that.
Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline.
I was thinking Frozen for a second. Maybe the powers are cursed.
Also, speaking of powers, I really liked the way they used the alien girl from Guardians of the Galaxy with the little thingy
Oh, Mantis.
antenna. Yeah,
Oh,
Mantis. The way she used her power to like pretty much stop Thanos' mind or whatever, put him to sleep.
Mhm.
That was probably the one thing that like kept him at bay in that moment. You know, everyone else just kind of like pinned him down physically, but I think with that really showcased how useful she can be in
Yeah,
general, I suppose, in a
really
fight.
useful.
That was what I thought that was great.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Also, when she knocks out Drax in that one scene,
Dunk.
the noise he made was just freaking hilarious.
Oh
I
yeah,
you know
'cause he
I
just
didn't
slammed right
know
on
that
the-
I didn't know that Drax had like a power where he could just turn invisible.
That's Thanos' power. Uh,
Yeah.
Also, that scene, I like. I kind of knew something was up when it was happening, but the way.
Oh, this is too serious for the Guardians cruise. Something's up.
Yeah, it's like, oh, well, I guess the movie's over. Gamora just stabs him in the neck. I was like totally okay with it. It's
What
like,
do you
is there a
guys think
second
about?
dance?
Gosh, what do you guys think about the Red Skull cameo?
Oh, that happened. That
That-
certainly happened.
Did not recognize them until you guys told me in the theaters.
Yeah, like I like immediately when he showed up, everyone
Yeah.
like to the right of me was like, "Oh, that's oh!"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, what the?" I flipped my glass. Oh yeah, I was watching this in 3D because we procrastinated and we just ended up watching it in 3D. So I lifted my glasses up and I'm like, "Who? Oh, that guy's slightly red, and he's a skull man. He must be the skull red skull. There we go. That's
and
who
I
that is.
forgot that he interacted with the Infinity Stone.
Yeah,
You know?
I thought
like,
he
that was-
interacted with the Tesseract. Did that launch him all the way up there? Because like all I heard was when he was
It's like-
explaining it, people were like, "Oh!" and I was like, "Y'all better shut up. I don't know who this guy is."
Yeah, like I thought it was a Tesseract too. And he just like
Yeah.
touched it, and it's like,
And then he
oh,
was
you've
just-
unlocked a bonus level, and just zooms him off into space, and he's
Yeah.
like, oh, what is this? You can't have it. Damn. Or-
That kind of reminds me of the friggin' amazing or the Spider-Man show way back when Captain America and the Red Skull, they were actually just fighting. Cap was never frozen in the ice caps. He was just like sent into this temporal zone with the Red Skull, and then Spider-Man somehow brings them back later in time to help him fight the forces of it. That's different. That's a different one.
That's a little too different.
yeah, that's a little bit weird. Shoot. What else like happened in this movie?
There's
How about
a
all the
lot.
other useless people who just didn't do anything? Like, shit, Black Widow with blonde hair because she didn't feel like dyeing her hair for this role.
I don't understand why, but I feel like out of all the people, or out of all the movies she's in, she's had some of the most awkward deliveries of lines. Like I remember, in
Yeah, I did
Civil-
feel that
Yeah,
for like one little few lines she had for this
the
movie.
one that always stands out to me every time I see it is in Civil War, where she's like, "I didn't. I said I'd help you find him, not capture him. There's a difference." what is that delivery? Is that the take you went with?
I
And
feel
then
like Black
there's
Widow
a
isn't
lot of
really.
that for her.
Was she forgetting her lines and she just kind of like,
yeah, just
you know,
stopping in
like
between.
I was just yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, I feel like with each movie that came out, Black Widow has become less of a character and more of just spy chick, right? And she's not really
Yeah.
a spy anymore. She's just
That's
chick
because
in
I was
tights.
so confused as to what her character was from the beginning. You know,
Yeah,
like
like she wasn't even that good in the beginning. It just devolved ever since. I mean,
yeah,
No.
in
or at least gotten
the
more
Captain America
inconsistent.
movies, it's
Like,
been better.
Yeah, Captain America movies is where she's super
Captain America is where every character is
Captain
better.
America movies is where I get the most confused. Like, she must have been fine in Winter Soldier, but when you get to Civil War, this is not a Civil War review. When you get to Civil War, she still does the banter, but she's like this dope spy assassin. But like, I can't
And she
tell
has a
when she's
thing for Bruce.
yeah,
Remember they tried to shoot
kinda.
that in. Is that in Age of Ultron where that just happened?
Yeah, but they brought it back here. They acknowledged it awkwardly, and then it just sort of fizzled away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thankfully, that wasn't a thing. Uh, Also, that kind of reminds me of the end of the movie because, like, we have a lot of we have a lot of characters in this movie and a lot of famous actors. So I felt like the purge at the end was just trying to like cut on costs for the next movie.
yeah.
It's like, Chris Pratt. Nope.
we need to reduce our amount of Chris's by about 50%.
And that's why he was purged.
uh-huh. But we definitely left like the main Avengers and then like some stragglers.
Yeah. Poor Black Panther. You know, he just had his big movie. Everyone was excited for him, and he just ended up not doing anything. Just died.
Yeah. But that's the moment where I was like, oh, okay, this isn't gonna stick.
Oh god.
What? What?
Nothing.
What do you want?
had a lot to say.
I don't remember. Oh no, it was in the recent episode of The Flash. They have a thing where they said if you laugh out loud, you have to share it with the group.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
When?
Yep.
Yeah.
Last
Why was
episode.
Last episode.
Yeah, do it right now. What was it? What do you want?
What I want? I just. There's just some funny jokes that they made in this movie, you know? Like, just thinking about some of them.
Where's Gamora? I'll do you one better. Who is Gamora? I'll do you one better. What is Gamora?
So hard. Look, honestly, I wish this was a Guardians movie. Like, whenever they were on screen, I probably had the most enjoyment because, oh my god, he nails every single one of those.
Yeah. No, it's mainly Drax. Because, like...
Yeah, I'm saying
I'm-
he, not like
okay.
Star-Lord. But
It's like...
even in that one scene with Gamora and the spaceship, when he was just eating chips. That scene was way too long in this movie, but I loved it.
But I still am really sad that we had to undo some of the character progression for Star-Lord in order to make this happen. I was real sad because I wanted to see him do good. I'm sad because I like them. And I wanted him to play well with others. I want all my toys to get along, man. Why can't I play with all my toys and then be happy? Why I gotta be sad all
Speaking
the time?
of toys, I mean, not really. This is something completely unrelated.
Great.
But in the beginning of the movie, I think Tony was kind of like having this conversation with Pepper. Like, I think they're getting married, right? Like, they're talking about like
they're
sending
engaged.
invitations
They're
and stuff like that.
engaged. Mm-hmm.
And then, like, I remember her being a real bitch about like him going on the spaceship, and she's like, "You better not be on there." I was like, "What? Are you kidding me?" He's like one of the Earth's most important superheroes. If he's not up there saving the rest of the planet, like, who else would?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like because he's still alive, that's gonna be a conflict that we're gonna have to deal with in the next movie. And
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to it
They're
whatsoever.
really like if they don't kill him in the next one, they're really setting him up to leave. Cuz they are torturing this character endlessly.
Oh my God.
He cannot catch a break.
He
finally
cannot.
got back. He finally got back together with Pepper. And now they're going to screw that up. They're either going to kill him or not. They killed his ward. That was hilarious. What is he, your ward? And like they are torturing this guy. So if he's not dead, he's going to be done. He's going to be done with his life.
Oh man.
Yeah, like honestly, if they keep Iron Man around in this universe, I feel like he can only really exist in like maybe a small role in Spider-Man movies because he's apparently Peter's dad, and what else? And Avengers movies because I feel like those are the only movies he like works in. His individual movies past the first one haven't been nearly as good.
Was there an Uncle Ben in this universe?
Yes, but nobody cares because, when they decided to reboot Spider-Man, they're like, everyone's heard this backstory,
a
100
million times.
times. So we never got attached to an Uncle Ben father figure for Peter. And, Robert Downey Jr. comes out of nowhere, and then he just, he clings to him like a spider,
like a
Like,
spider.
he clings real hard. Like, this movie was a little bit too much, I feel like in his movie, like everyone liked seeing Tony be that father figure for Peter, and then they kind of like just pushed it. Like now even Peter wants it to be a thing.
Hey, if there's not a neighborhood to save, how can be a now you hired Spider-Man?
Anyways, guys, I think that just about does it for us. But I have a feeling like if he's done if he's done after the next one in the Spider-Man after that, there's gonna be something in Robert Downey Jr.'s contract where he has to show up like for a split second or something in one more movie, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna sprinkle it into Spider-Man, and it's gonna be the moment for the rest of the audience.
Yeah, I feel like if he does show up in the thing, he's probably just steal the show from Spider-Man. Unfortunate, but
yeah. Is there's I'm sure there's more, but I'm
please.
What?
We're not doing anything here, Michael.
Yeah, what do you want?
What do I want? I think we're good.
All right.
What? Yeah. Okay. Well, anyways, guys, I think that just about does it for us. If you made it all the way here, don't you have anything better to do?
Man, go buy yourself an ice cream. You deserve it.
yeah. We're not gonna buy it for you, but you deserve one. If you enjoyed this episode and our ramblings, hit that like button and subscribe if you want to hear more from us each week. I hear likes help out channels. I don't know if that means anything. Like some people say, hit that like button, it really helps us out. Does it? But do it, because I guess that's what other people are saying. And we like to follow trends. That's why we're reviewing this movie. And also there are links in the description down below. You could diddle those. Also, dingle our dongle. And there's a Discord chat in the links in the description down below. Also, this is on GoMango, our Toku channel. But we also have an anime channel. Go check that out as well. I think I'm done plugging things. Guys, keep it juicy.
Yeah.
See you later.
Okay, so I've been wearing my Justice League shirt this whole time.
Oh my god. You're garbage.
I am.